Oh, snap.
Right, we live
Oh, turn your phones off.
all the way live.
Your ringers off.
Please turn on media.
Please,
So is
internet
there a way for
support.
me to see the stream?
Yeah, put up another screen
Okay.
or another browser screen. Hmm. Here we go. Go ahead, Lay.
Yeah, I'm looking. Okay, okay.
All right, here we go. Shit.
Part one. Part one. Hey, hey. Hey,
Loop,
hey.
loop.
What's up, everyone?
You gotta loop it.
Loop it.
Lupe.
Hmm. Loop
Lupe
it.
Fiasco.
Share your screen and loop it.
What, what are we waiting for?
People.
Oh.
Yeah.
Come on,
We can start now.
buckets.
We'll wait till some folks come in.
Okay.
How you guys doing? How was your day today?
Hey, can you send me the can you it's not coming. I'm not getting anything. I need the link.
Don't worry about it. We're already live. It's already been played. We'll work on that for a second. But how's your day been, guys? Well, we're waiting for people to come on in. How you doing today? Did you stay out of the rain?
Yeah, work from home, same as usual as past year.
Right. I didn't go nowhere.
Home, but not alone.
Exactly.
The whole fam,
Exactly.
the whole familia.
That's excellent. All right. So we have people rolling in late. Tell us what we got going on.
She's on mute. Oh, there
Not
you go.
yet. I'm still on the I'm on the link now.
Mhm.
Okay,
And by one.
okay.
Mm,
Mm,
okay.
mm,
There's only one
mm.
person watching now, and there's nothing on the screen. And we started streaming.
So they can't see anything? Yep.
I don't see anything on the screen. Go ahead and look on it. Look on the browser so you can see
Okay.
everything that's going on.
I can see
Lay,
it.
is there something on the screen?
Yeah, we're on there.
I could see everybody. I could see everyone.
Okay. Should we wait until we get like 5 people at least? Do you need the streaming link, Lay? Here, I copied this.
I could see it. I could see it on my phone, and I'm sharing it as we speak.
Yep.
Maybe pause it on or mute it. 8:02. Do we have any people viewing? What?
Hello,
So
world.
we may just want to
Go at it.
go at
Just
it.
go at
You know,
it.
yeah.
You can
I'm
do
down.
that.
You may just want to.
Because they can always catch it too.
Give it 1 minute. Give it 1 minute.
Yeah, because you
Okay.
don't want to start in the middle.
Yeah, no, I'm sharing the link like crazy. So give me a minute. So, or
Okay.
wait, 8:02. Give it till. Can you give it
Yeah,
till
8:05.
Should play some music
Mhm.
right now.
Actually, yeah, go ahead, Chess.
Oh.
Hook that up. Hook that up.
Bring that beat back.
Yeah, do all
Hopefully
that.
we don't get
Copyright infringement.
yeah. Last thing we want is to get canceled day one.
Come on.
You played my stuff.
Rebels, you. Rebels.
Here we go. Here we go.
Okay, got my chat up. Got that chat up. Oh, you can merge that to the meeting window. This is good. This is good.
Mm.
This is good though, because you know
Yeah.
most people it'll take them for a little bit in order to get on. Anyway,
Taking the time. Okay. Try to share this.
oh yeah, maybe I should share it too. Maybe we should share it on our pages, huh? Did you tag us, Lay? We can just kind of on Facebook at least.
Oh boy. Okay.
Is that some
Mm,
music that's playing? You couldn't hear
Uh-oh.
it, though, Chess.
Somebody playing their beats.
You guys hear that or no?
Barely.
Damn.
Yeah, I heard that.
Barely. Barely. Participants. Where do you see like how many people?
Mm. When I go to the page on my phone, it says on YouTube, it says action isn't allowed. So
Action.
there's like no options to share or.
Oh.
Oh, okay. All messages are visible. Live chat, talk chat.
People are seeing this one. They'll catch it later.
Mm.
8:05. It's 8:05.
Okay, here we go.
CP time.
CPT. I just tweeted the link.
Oh, you did Twitter?
Yeah,
Mhm.
we got one like.
That was me.
Oh shit. Now we got 3 likes.
Hey.
Hey.
We got 5 people watching, so we got one more person who's on.
Oh, what's up? One more person.
What's up?
What
You
up,
know it's
one person?
delayed, so they finally see it like in a second.
What up, though?
What's up, everyone?
Should we go down 806 link? Give us the thumbs up.
I see 3 people. Oh,
Thumbs up.
we're down to 2.
Keep on.
Get it, T.
All right, everyone. Welcome to the premiere episode of Thought Sessions.
Hey.
This is a safe space and also a unique space where thoughts, maybe yours, might become a topic of conversation. My friends call me T, and I'm here with my Bay Area buddies.
What's up, guys? Me, Chester.
Pablo, aka P.
And let's not forget special mention to our moderator, Laser. Laser, give him the ground rules.
Oh, yo, mute.
Mute.
Yeah, that was one thing. Make sure you're off and mute.
Yep, I'm right here. Keep it right, keep it tight, keep it clean, and keep it respectful.
Awesome.
Hey.
All right. So, Chess, let them know why we're doing this.
All right. So the reason why we're doing this, like Tamika said, or T said, we all come from pretty much the same ground roots. We all like the same things. We all kind of, I mean, as family folks too, we have the same concerns about how the world is right now. And really, what we wanted to do is we wanted to create a platform for like-minded folks, and also those who oppose our opinions are also welcome. But really, this platform is for everyone to share their thoughts, and to discuss some of the hardest topics that most people tend to kind of just sweep under the rug. So that is why we're doing this.
All right. Awesome.
Yeah, for sure. And in terms of participation, we want everybody to participate and give us their most thought-provoking comments if they can. So, get your mind right, like she said, get it tight, and give us your best perspective so we can share it online with the world and talk about it.
Yeah. What are we talking about today, P?
Man, so I guess we can be talking about, a big thing that's coming to mind nowadays is, do people have regrets? I mean, regrets come in all forms. Some people don't believe in regrets. Some people waste their whole life chasing regrets. So there's so many ways we can go at it. Obviously myself, everybody has regrets.
Mhm.
I wish I would have finished college. I'm still trying, knock it out. Things back in the day, I wish I would have worked harder at something or did this or, spoke up or whatever, this, that, and the third. Everybody has those thoughts. So, that's just how it is in life. I mean, I don't think anybody can really say no regrets their whole life. And, not everybody's living like that. But, at the same time, it goes over somebody's head. It may not bother them at all. So,
Yeah. There's a lot of factors that play into why people have regrets, but and and in specific to yours, right, where
right,
yours was to to wanting to finish college.
right, right.
What were the factors that prevented that from happening?
And so many different factors came into play. Obviously I was young and, not home. I was out of state in Atlanta in the mid 90s. So it was crazy. There was all kinds of stuff going on there. Obviously everybody's partying and whatnot. So, partying came into play. Me wanting to be a musician at the time, everybody and their mama was rapping at the time. So, everybody wanted to rap, everybody wanted to do this, that, and the third. And at the same time, financial insecurity, people go to college, but at the same time, it's kind of putting some pressure on your parents. So, these things come into play, and, you think about those factors. And, I could have regrets, but I don't think I really do about that time. I had fun. I met a lot of great people. It was a great time in my life. A lot of friends that I hold dear till today. So, it's one of those things where I could feel regretful, but, I learned so much and gained so much from it. I don't really feel any regret. But I am
Yeah.
going to finish college.
Yep.
T, what do you
Yep.
think about that?
Yeah, no, I completely agree. Like I had a pretty similar experience, but honestly, I was the person that lived, and someone probably would relate to this, like, hell, I have no regrets. Everything I did made me me, right? But no, honestly, like it wasn't until Kamala Harris became VP, right? Howard, shout out, she's alumni. And I honestly was like, ooh, I did have a little bit of a regret. Yeah, HBCU, and it was proud of it. And I was like, "Ooh, yeah, this is good." But I didn't finish. Very similar to you, Pablo. Like I came from San Jose, from the Bay Area, so
Yeah.
eyes were wide open. Like, whoa, what?
Right.
There's black people that look like this? Like what?
Right.
They
I
live like
almost went to
what?
Howard. I almost went to Howard, but I ended up going to
No,
Morehouse. Yeah.
exactly. Actually, I almost went to Spelman. As a matter of fact, it was a toss
Yeah.
up, Spelman or Howard. I chose Howard because it was probably more diverse,
Yeah.
like in the people, whatever. But
Oh yeah. Atlanta's black.
honestly, well, but that's the thing. Like I did actually have, I found out later on in life that I did. I didn't think at the time because it made me me, right? But I did have a little bit. I only have a couple more classes to finish out college. But
Right.
in all actuality, when I really think about it, Chester, you were right. Like it does not necessarily define who I am, because
Right.
had it not happened, would I be doing what I'm doing now for a career?
Mhm.
And that's where the
Exactly.
amazing part of the story happens, right? Like, if I had finished, okay, my life would be probably a lot different than it is now. And I kind of like how it turned out. I don't
Right.
know. Like, I think like the hardcore regrets, the kind of stuff that you can't get away with. I mean, you may be able to cover it up, are probably the kind like where you, like where I did. I don't know about any of you, but having a tattoo that was like somebody else's
No
or whatever.
regrets.
You know what I mean? Right. Yo, like that's the kind of regret that you just can't really get away. Even if you put a
Yeah.
tattoo over it, unless they're really good, you still seeing
Yeah.
that shit, you know.
Thank
But
God I'm scared of needles.
I know, right. You know, but other than that, I really do think that it was a small moment of understanding that I was really regretful about something, but knowing that, you know what, though, I'm not gonna let that define me. Chess?
Yeah, to I guess to touch on one of P's comments on regret is that I don't think, well, everyone has regrets to some degree, right? And they're all differ depending on who that person is. For me, yes, I've gone through some experiences where someone could easily say, "Oh yeah, well, that's a that's a place in my life where I may place regret." Um, but I come from the old from the school that unless you don't learn from those experiences, um, I don't really
Right.
categorize experiences like that,
Mm-hmm.
uh, or I don't categorize experiences like that as regret. I've had a lot of I guess learning experiences in my life where
Right.
I have come out the victor in some way, shape, or form, and I think I'm thankful for those opportunities uh, to win over a situation where it could have it could have impacted my life in a negative light. So I think for me personally, I don't live with any regrets. I mean, there's
Yeah.
a lot of again, there's a lot of experiences that I've gone through that would break the normal person, I guess, right? And that's not me trying to say that I'm better than people. It's just that I learned how to turn things around. And like what you said, T, without those experiences, I don't think I'd be where I am today.
Right. Yeah. You gotta basically be able to take it, as they say, turn lemons into lemonade and all that. But
Exactly. And you know what,
sometimes you
too?
can add a little champagne up in there.
The bigger part of that too is that, if you don't have any other options, I mean, the only option is what? To make it
Work
right.
with it. Yeah.
Exactly. Right.
And that's
And
definitely old school mentality, like our parents,
I'm
and
very
it's
old
definitely
school.
definitely my dad and my mom. They're just hey, if it doesn't work, go ahead and make it yourself. I would come to my mom and be like, Mom, we don't have this outfit for Halloween. She's like, I'll make it. I don't care. I'll do it myself. So you got to learn from those things, and if you don't, then yeah, you will have regrets. But you got to, yeah, be able to turn that perspective around.
Yeah, I agree.
But Jess, let me ask you this: like what type of, like, give us an example of something that would probably break someone else where they would have a regret, and you say, look, I'm just muscling through it, I'm gonna be just fine. Give us an example to help somebody out
Well,
that maybe,
for
yeah.
one,
Needs to
we
hear
all have
this.
common regrets, and that's
Mhm.
about finishing higher education or at least
Damn, that's
getting
dropouts.
the bid. Um,
Fuck.
I also didn't finish college,
Shh. Dang.
and
Is it Kanye
you know,
session?
coming from
I
a
know.
family that I come from, um, my dad was a dentist, my mom was a teacher, my oldest brother is a professor at USC, my sister is
Dang.
accomplished, my other brother's accomplished. Um, they're all pretty much educated, very, very educated. And I come
Mhm.
from, I'm like the black sheep where I use my intuition and just my gumption, right, to kind of get through all of that. So if I were to put out an example of what would break others, right, and I put that in quotations,
Mhm.
is that I also didn't finish school, and but through that, right, through that, I realized that I had to work twice as hard, maybe sometimes even three times as hard as the person next to me, because I had something to prove not only to my employers but also to myself, right? That
Oh, for sure.
um,
It's always in the back of your mind.
paper
Yeah.
piece of paper is not going to say, oh, Chester, you don't deserve this or you deserve this. It's all going to be through what I can do with through hard work. So yeah, and the reason why I think that would or could break some folks is that, man, if I can share every story or every experience that I've gone through, it's one after the other where it would break someone,
Hmm.
in my opinion. So that's where I'm coming from.
Exactly. But you make a good point. Like, um, could it break most? Yeah, it could. However, is it something that you can, in which I know a lot of people, in their late, 40s, 30s, they actually go back. And if it really is
Yeah.
something that's on your heart to do, I know a lot of people that have finished it out. I look at myself and I look at my current situation with my career, and
Hmm.
honestly, it wouldn't really make a difference. I'm just doing it for me, right? It wouldn't
Right.
like make or break my career. And as a matter of fact, I'm thank God I don't have all that debt, to be honest with you. I mean, I'm just saying, like, I
Damn
deal with a lot of
loans.
people, like hundreds of thousands of dollars. Not
Right.
to say there's anything wrong with it.
Just read
It's
an article
just
on that too.
I'm looking at it now and I'm thinking like, well, I probably dodged a bullet right there because
Yeah.
honestly, what I've ever gotten into, and that brings me up on another part of that, right? Like not finishing college, but I went through a trade. So I had a trade that I went through instead of, college, and that actually helped catapult me to do what I'm doing now.
Yeah.
So for myself, honestly, just you take lemons and you make lemonade. Like, look, if I didn't
Right.
do this, well, you got to pick yourself up and do something else. My parents, like my father, he went to the military. That was his thing. My brothers as well, and they got their education kind of through there. So honestly, does it really matter like what it is? No, I don't think so. I don't think so. It doesn't matter. Not everyone's built for college. Not everyone's
No,
built for trades.
no,
And
not at
that's
all.
okay. That's
Yeah.
okay.
Like, it's all just in your experience and, what you learn from it. I mean, there's so many things you can take away. It's probably, at most times it's best that you go through something, so that way you're able to handle whatever else comes your way the next time. You'll be able to play it cooler, pretty much, so you got to get those knocks, you got to get those
Yeah.
scars.
It's like tempering glass. Um,
I
one of the things
Yes.
that
sure.
I kind of wanted to share
Hmm.
on a later episode, but since we're talking about it now, um,
Oh, you jumping the gun.
Jumping the gun, brother. What's up?
um, about regret and how school or a degree or a college career, whether either limits the options that one has, or it maximizes it or multiplies it, right? For me, since I was really limited in my options because I didn't finish high school or college,
Hmm.
um, I had to make do with what I had, right? And today I'm a project manager, PMP certified. Um, but
Shout
before that,
out.
I
Hey,
spent
hey.
12 years. But before all of that, before I moved to Sacramento with my wife and my kids, um, I spent 12 years in software development, producing video games,
Oh,
and I met and I have worked
Hey.
closely with people who grace the Hollywood billboards, like Sam Jackson,
Hmm.
nice.
um, just to name one, but there's been plenty. And I don't think that even though I don't think I would have ever crossed the paths with people like these people that I
Hmm.
was able to share a moment with in my life, had it not been for the limitations that I was presented through not finishing college. So yeah, I mean, there's a silver lining in everything, and it really does take the strength within us to kind of see through that and persevere. And again, I hate harping on this because I don't think that I'm better, nor do I think that we're better than anyone else, especially our viewers listening in right now. But a lot of the things that we just brought up right now are
Speak for
things
yourself.
that I would say million people, millions of people, you know, have gone have lived through.
Hmm.
But we are who we are today because of that, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And hopefully those that are listening, thank you very much for tuning in. We honestly
Hey,
do. We
hey,
want to hear you chime in. Please, please. This is one of the biggest things that we're doing this for, creating a safe space and a unique space to share your just a conversation, your opinion. Like, did you finish college? Was this something that you completed? Do you have any regrets? Or
yeah.
do you have none? And you figure, just like, chess, like, no, I don't have any regrets. My life is perfect. I'm good. And
I don't know about
good
all
for
that,
you.
but you know me.
I mean, hey,
Relax.
hey, yo, there are some people, and I've met them.
Oh
They're
yeah,
like,
for
oh
sure.
no, I don't have nothing. But if you do, we do want to hear from you, and we are, willing to bring you up so that you can actually talk about it live. Hopefully you have your clothes on though, but live on the
Hey,
feed, so that you can talk to us. But Pablo,
yeah. What's up?
any other regrets that you have?
I mean, everybody. I could go down a long list.
Heartbreak. Come on, bring it up,
Heartbreak,
please.
heartbreak. Let's talk about
I
heartbreak.
was 18. No, I didn't. You know what? I think I acted a fool enough in my younger years to not have too many regrets. But
Mhm.
I have regrets. Like I used to love doing music. I think maybe I should have
Ooh,
pursued it a little bit harder. I used to run a studio with some of my buddies, and I wish I have regrets that that's not still open. Because it was fun running it. um, you go down the line and you have all these learning experiences. I'm kind of like the like-minded with Chester, where they're just all learning experiences to me. I could have been in certain places, but it didn't work out like that. But I like where I'm at right now, so I'm not going to beat myself up over it. But hey, you have your moments. And like Eminem says, you better take that moment and do something with it. And you know so make sure you don't have no regrets. But
Agreed.
hey, let's get into something, a current topic in terms of regrets. What about the big GameStop thing that went on a couple of weeks ago? People were the stock was inflating. People were investing because they were trying to fight the big hedge fund groups.
right,
So do you think, did any of you invest? Who invested?
Well, my regret with that is I wasn't familiar enough with what was going
right.
on
Right.
to not capitalize on that mess up or whatever was going on. I'm not educated enough to even speak on stocks, but I think it's
Right.
interesting that it affected so many people of so many different ways of life, investors, day
Right.
traders,
Yeah,
to people who don't know anything like me, who
Right.
who got
Yeah.
into it and took home some money.
Yeah, I think it's
exactly.
cool. I think it's great. People actually got that opportunity, and it levels the playing field. And I think the big investment groups, the hedge funds, they need to be kept on their toes, in that manner, because if people, you gotta get it together. You can do something. So,
Yeah.
but
What do you think about
I'm
that,
sure
T?
there's a lot of regrettable investments in that. So, that's the other side of the
Well, I
fence.
mean, the little I know about that, like the little, honestly, like I really am not trying to gamble my money.
Yeah,
Right.
Although there's
Right.
some
It is
people that are really
gambling.
good at that.
It is
But
that's
no,
what it
we
gambling.
is.
tried
It's
it.
gambling.
We honestly tried it, like back in the day, and honest, it's just not something I just got into. But
Right.
I bet, the big, hedge fund, folks, I bet they're regretting kind of giving their plans on what they were going to do. I bet they regret letting the whole world know what they were going to do so that they can actually band together in order to come against it. As far as
Right.
I know, they pretty much let the world know, and I guess we're that smug that they didn't think that anybody would come together and band against them. But little do
Right.
you know, unity, when you unite together for things, and that's probably what we need to do more of in order to defeat a lot of these things,
Message.
especially with the big men and what they're trying to do with us, because that is we remain divided. I guess one regret for the world, you know what I mean, could be that we just remain divided and we let things continue to divide us. And if we would just understand that, honestly, we're not each other's enemy. That's not it. It's those that are kind of continuing to keep us in blocks and in, squares or in compartments, that we never reach out of those boxes in order to talk to one another or to relate to one another. Hence, what we just went through for the past several months.
Okay. You
And
elevated
4
that.
years.
Elevated that level of regret. Yeah, that's a higher level. Yeah, that's
A
deep though.
higher level, higher learning a little
Yeah.
bit.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, well, let's bring it down to a more personal level, right? Like Gorilla Glue girl. I mean, we can
Public
bring
hazard.
it back down. I'm just saying, Tessica Brown, we love you.
You doing?
We do. I bet she regretted having that nice hairstyle.
I was worried for her
for over a
like,
month. For real, I was worried.
I saw
too.
the Twitter. I saw it on Twitter. I was like, "She all right?" That was my first response. Like, "She all right?"
Yo, it looked like it hurt. Like it looked like it hurt really bad.
It don't
Like
hurt
it
that
was no
much. You got
cap
an agent
either.
now.
But like when someone says no cap, I know they mean no lie, but damn, that was a cap.
Man. I didn't even know Gorilla Glue had spray like that. I was like, "Dang."
Yo, the adhesive. Yes.
I mean, I've never used products like that on my hair, but it looked like a spray can for hair. I mean,
I don't know.
if you're that blind, but apparently,
she was looking like you, Pablo, on the head. That's for sure. That's how tight it was. And
maybe we'll just go give her a lineup and she'll be better. Like,
yeah, I know. No, when
feel
she
better,
came on
girl.
TikTok, I was like, no, this ain't real, right? Then all of a sudden it garnered like over 20-something thousand. I mean, it just ridiculous amount of views. But I'm thinking, no, this is cap. But then when she put the shampoo on it and was like, oh, that stuff really wasn't coming off. I felt bad then. She really, really tried. She went to the doctor, and I know acetone, that had to burn your scalp, but thankfully, there was an African doctor who helped her get it out of the hair. And so,
what did they use?
But he reverse engineered it.
Wow.
What?
I'm serious.
Serious chemistry going on.
What they needed in order to break down the glue and break down the particles. Some say it was as easy as using Gorilla Glue, but she ended up recently just got it out. But the kicker is she's going to sue.
Really?
But now they're saying she's like famous, like she got a manager. I'm like, what is she going to be in commercials or something? Or what's going to happen? Is she going? She got a job now, so that's good. I mean, it sounds like she got some money flowing in. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Why do we keep rewarding these people?
I don't know. That's
that's the way it
goes.
You know what? It's the same thing. Okay, well, do I have a regret? Because honestly, when you think about it, though, she's probably going to get paid a little bit from that.
Oh yeah.
The real good. It didn't say like not to put on hair. It said no skin. It didn't say hair. Just like the McDonald's person, right? Like, remember back in the day, the person, like, they got the hot cup of like coffee and it spilled them and it burned them, like second-degree burn. They end up suing McDonald's. Yeah. And guess what? They ended up getting like what, $1 million? So like $200 million. She got paid just because the lid didn't say caution, hot, piping hot, may burn. No joke. So, again.
You do got to tell people, Hey, you got to tell people stuff. That's just the way it's gone down. We had to make people wear seatbelts. Now we got to make people wear masks, so it's only one thing after the other,
But
people always going to fight something one way or the other.
Well, I bet there are a bunch of people regretting wearing masks or not wearing masks. I'll tell you that much.
Jeez.
I'm just saying. Chess, what you think?
I don't even want to touch on that topic. There's so much.
What do you think? Like anybody else having regrets that we should know about nowadays? Some deep thoughts.
Well, since we've been talking about, we've been kind of flirting with politics, even though we don't really want to scare people off right away. But my biggest question is, do you think Trump regrets running for president? For one, right? For one, it's brought out pretty much. He's always been a crooked person, and regardless of our viewers, regardless of which side you're on, right or left, right? You can't disagree or you can't deny that Trump has the track record of, pulling the wool over people's eyes through not paying them through their services or what have you. I mean, it's well documented, years upon years, right?
That's how he gets down.
Mhm.
Yeah.
for over 40 years. That's been his
Mhm.
MO.
That's what daddy taught him.
But I think his presidency, it's really opened the floodgates for those that want to prosecute him and want to surface all those, those times where he did rip people off or lied to
Mhm.
people and whatnot. And now that he's out of office, um, he really, if I were in his shoes, right? I mean, if you think about it, 4 years of capitalizing on the backs of taxpayers, Americans, people that he, uh, you know, disenfranchised, people that he considered were lawless people who were just, murderers and whatnot. Um, those very same people are now the people that are trying to hold him to account. And even though he got away for the second time with the impeachment, where he was acquitted for the insurrection, um, I think that was just the tip of the iceberg, because now that everyone is gunning for him because of his 4 years of presidency, right?
Yeah.
It's really opened the floodgates for those that want to really see him go down in flames. And the reason why I say the Senate trial was just a tip of the iceberg, because there are hundreds upon hundreds of lawsuits, uh, just issues with litigation, right, with the state of New York alone.
Yeah.
And I think he's going
Mhm.
to spend the rest of his life, if not in prison, in court.
Right.
So I asked that question because it is a loaded question. I know what the answer is. I think he does regret running for, the highest office in the world. But do his believers feel that way?
Mm.
Do his followers feel that way? His family, even. So
No, I mean, I don't think they do. I don't think they regret anything because I mean, just look at his kids alone. They've been able to make his daughter's been able to make hella money off the presidency.
hella money.
Hella money.
Hella,
How many
She's
patents?
that's the Bay
How many
Area.
patents did she
yeah.
get? In China, I think
I,
2 years
no,
ago, I think she had like 4 patents in
I
China
think it was
alone.
like over more than that. But I don't know. I mean, they've just been getting the whole time. They just been like raking in the dough, raking in the dough. So I don't think they have any regrets. I mean, he may have some regrets. I don't think so. I don't think he's capable because he's just at a level of privilege that's just like, and most of his followers are too. They're just at that level where they're just, little robots going along to the beat or, what they were wound up to. So, I don't think they're capable of feeling anything. They're not like remorse. These people don't even have remorse for
Yeah,
like
classic
kids getting
sociopath.
shot by police.
Mhm.
So why would they
Mhm.
why would they be remorseful for Donald Trump?
Yeah,
They're just, I mean, that's just me. I'm a jerk sometimes. So they're
it's
just
all
Well,
good,
I
no,
dude.
but
It's all
it's,
good.
it's but it's the truth though. Like no, he said it from his own mouth. Like not even even asking for forgiveness, right? So if a
yeah.
person can't even or doesn't even think he needs to be forgiven for anything or ask for forgiveness, and he said it out of his own mouth, like what do
Hmm.
you think he has regrets for, right? Like
Yeah.
people don't live their life like that. So no, I don't think he has any regrets at all. I do think that when you deal with a particular mindset, they do things and they really do think that they're doing it for the good of they really do think
That's
that they're
crazy.
doing it for the benefit of whether it be a group of people, small group, big group, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So but you got to figure too, like, look, if I was 80 something years old, knowing don't well if I ate like pretty bad and my life,
McDonald's every day.
I lived a long life. My name will probably stand forever.
Mhm.
I would probably do something to set up my kids maybe for success. And especially if I have more than one, I have several of them, setting up the name so that it can carry on. Legacy, whether you like it or not, everyone's going to know the Trump name and Trump brand forever.
Oh yeah.
Whether it be good or bad, a lot of times they figured, and he said this before too, some press, bad press is not always, the best, but it's still press. His name's still out
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's still
his
on
whole
people's
campaign
mouth.
proved that. Yeah,
Oh
his whole
yeah,
campaign proved that yeah, bad
yeah.
press, as long as it's there, people are still gonna eat it up. But I think Chester, you're right. He kind of does regret. I think what he does regret is that he wasn't able to pull off the look like a TV show. He wanted it to go off like The Apprentice.
Oh,
You know what I
no,
mean?
it felt like the end of the world. It felt like
Yeah,
Armageddon. So no, he
yeah,
did. He did.
yeah. He wanted it to be like,
Armageddon, the series.
yeah. At the end, he wanted to be like, "You're fired, America. Cut." You know,
Oh.
he wanted, yeah. So, and he regrets it didn't go down like that. It went down unfavorable to him. So whatever. Fuck him.
Hey, I used to like The Apprentice. Actually, I did. I really did. I liked The Apprentice.
I never watched that show. I
I
didn't.
like The Apprentice. Well, I love competition shows. So it really doesn't, any type of competition shows, whatever. But I like The Apprentice. This would make
A lot
this
of
is
people did. Shit.
But this would
Apparently.
like jacks me up. Like, no, I honestly, in The Apprentice, I really honestly thought that like his opinions, his thoughts, what he said about the people who he fired, I agreed pretty much on point 90% of the time of what he said. And even his kids when they were on,
Yeah,
I agreed
scripted.
with them. If scripted or not, I agreed, you know, and so that's why
That's
it
what
threw
I'm
me
saying. That's what I'm
threw me
saying.
to
That's
left
why he
field.
was upset because he wasn't able. He regrets it. He wasn't able to pull off the perfect. That he came across so sensible and knowledgeable and
It's
whatnot.
true.
He regrets that, and that's what he's pissed about. He doesn't care about everything else. He could have thrown the whole world into war again, and he would have came away like, I'm so mad I didn't look good in that shit. So
Yeah.
All about
that,
optics.
yeah.
Right. No, but you bring up, that was a great point. Just, if he does, what do you think? So you don't think that that is your stance pretty much, that he didn't have any regrets?
No, I don't
Or
think
that
he's capable of feeling regret. I mean, just
Yeah.
the type of person that he is. I don't stalk Donald Trump, but I remember as a kid watching that show with Robin Leach. I don't know if you guys remember that show.
Oh, Lifestyles
Lifestyle of
Rich and
Rich and
Lifestyles
Famous.
of Rich and Famous.
Right. Donald Trump was he was like a regular on that show. And even as a kid, when I didn't understand anything at all, and it was just based on how I was raised, right? Everything that I saw, everything I heard he say, everything about him to me just seemed so manufactured. It was just so fake, and just I don't know what it was, but I've had dislike for him then. Even as a kid, so that's crazy to me, right? But yeah, do I think he has regret? No, I think he's incapable of feeling any kind of remorse or regret just because of the person that he is. He's shown us who he is over and over again, right?
Okay.
But because we're normal people and that have empathy for others, we tend to give him the credit that he may still have that part of I don't know, that humanity, that the part of being a human being in him, right? But I just think that he's just so numb. I think he's just so set in his ways where if the tension is not towards him, he couldn't care less about anyone else. So I really don't think he has any regrets, but he will, because I think everything, the only thing that matters to him, right? The only thing that matters to him, obviously, is the bottom line, right? We know that we know that he's in debt, and we know that he took advantage of his followers towards the tail end of his presidency, right, where he was robbing them. And he, I think he raised like $5 million, I think.
Yeah,
or
just for
whatever.
that whole
Yeah.
to fight against the election. He raised hell of money.
Yeah,
and none of it went towards.
Yeah, and there's speculation that that money's going to be used to pay for his debts in Russia or in China or what have you, right? So I think all these looming indictments and these litigations that may occur this year, next year, or whichever, that is really going to affect his bottom line, his pockets, and I think that's when he'll feel regret for the first time. The only thing is, we need to hold him accountable.
And that's the thing,
not we as a people, but people that actually have the power to hold him accountable, right?
Right. And that's where I think the problem with people not having regret, especially people that fall in the Donald Trump, umbrella, I guess you can say, or level of evolution, but is that they don't have any regrets because most white males of that caliber are not, they're not ever held accountable.
You said it.
the frat boys, and like the boy at Stanford that was trying to rape the girl. I mean,
Oh
he
man.
wasn't held accountable.
Yeah.
So you have it's just the whole history of white males never being held accountable
Yeah,
about
that.
anything. So it tends to, it's like I always tell people, this whole era of Donald Trump, it's like they will not prosecute themselves.
No.
I don't care. I don't care if they change the attorney general. I don't care whoever came into play. I mean, even Biden's coming in, and they all know what he did. Pelosi, they all know, and they have not held him ever really accountable. I mean, to me, the whole thing with impeachment, it's really just a lot of theatrics.
Yeah, it is.
I mean,
Right.
That's all it is.
yeah, they got their point across. They presented their case and whatnot, but it's political theatrics. So
You,
you
you
know,
know,
I have
Man.
regrets for all of these people.
you know, well, let's talk about that, right? Granted, we feel a certain way. However,
White
there's
privilege.
a large, but there's a large portion of society that feels completely opposite of that, and that's black, white, that's across the board. And so, even with that feeling, granted, we may our eyes and our guys on things is one way, but there's 75 million plus people that feel opposite of that. And it leads me to believe that even how, like, for instance, social media outlets like Facebook, and how we know, and I know that they censor things. So if you're on there looking at certain things over and over again, of course, everything you're going to be fed is in one direction, right?
Right.
Versus it being, whatever bubble that you're in. And so, honestly, I do think that, yeah, it's a bad thing, but I do think that there's other people that really think just as much as we're thinking that, that everything was bad, that everything was good. And they have no regrets on, there's a lot of them that regret nominating him, for presidency the first time, but there's a lot of them that don't. What do you say to
Okay.
someone like that? Like, honestly thinking that what they're reading, what they're seeing is the best of him, because of what they're getting fed from the media, what they're getting fed from Facebook, like seeing things that are completely opposite of what you're seeing.
Okay, hold
And
on one second, T. We got somebody, Sierra, and she has an opinion. She didn't want to come into the meeting, but she does have a quote to give. She says, "I definitely think he has regrets. Being president has shined a spotlight on him in some of the worst ways. I believe publicly he'll never show it, but mentally he's hurting." So, some people think he does have, and he probably does. I'm sure he's internalizing all of that because he
Mhm.
knows deep down he's a piece of shit. But, you know, she's right. I think,
yeah, no, well, but his followers don't. If you talk to
Right.
any one
Yeah.
of them, like, straight up,
Yeah.
straight up,
Yeah.
no, they don't. They don't have any regrets. As a matter of fact, they want him to go for 2024. What do you say to someone like that?
I mean, these are people think that the Confederates won the Civil War. So there's not much you can tell people like that.
Man, we can spend hours talking about
But
just
slavery was a choice.
yeah, with that.
Diesel. Yeah. So
And just how confused that side is. We can spend hours talking about that. I mean, if you guys have been keeping track of what's been going on with everyone that's been picked up by the FBI or local authorities,
Correct.
of all those people that stormed the Capitol,
oh yeah.
not one of those people that have been caught have
Mhm.
said, I regret what I did, or I feel bad for what I did, or any kind of tone where they're remorseful at all for what they did. Instead, what we see him saying on camera with pride is that, well, I did what I was told to do or asked to
Yeah.
do, or this and that. To me, that's just insane. That's insane to me how these people, one, feel that they can do that. Second, they have that level of entitlement to not even have any fear at all, right? Of being caught. And third, dude, Pablo, you and I,
Yeah.
Tamika, you too.
Mhm. Mhm.
If we were one of those people,
Oh, shit.
right? Do you think that we'd be scot-free? I mean, do you think we'd be able to say, hey, you know what? Yeah, I know that I'm being subpoenaed to show up to court, but can I go to Mexico first for my vacation. Did you hear about that?
Yeah.
Crazy to me.
Yeah, or if you're in what is it? You're locked up. Can I have vegan food,
Oh
please, served
yeah,
to me?
and then they transferred him to some other
Yeah.
prison
Privilege.
where he can have that.
That privilege. Privilege is like a magic
What?
wand, man.
That's crazy. That's crazy how that's even like an option for them, right? When you have people of color who's denied basic, you know, resources like water. I mean, there's that one guy who was a black man uh, who was denied water for 7 days because he was unruly to the
Mm.
guards, and they kept water from him, and he died because of that. But you got some guy who stormed the Capitol, uh, who was transferred to a prison so he can have organic food. That's insane to me. Why is that even being allowed?
It's just yeah, it's just a history. This country just has a history. I mean,
I'd really love to hear. I'd really love to hear someone who is on that side. And
Mhm.
please, to all the viewers right now, your opinions are welcome, whether they're opposing or they're in support of what we're saying.
come on down.
But I really would love to hear from someone who is from that side or who's on that side to kind of try to I don't know, to make sense of all of that and
They
why.
can.
Help me
Can they?
understand.
Oh, they can't.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
help us understand.
They can help me understand that. I will be
yeah.
enlightened.
This is.
Okay?
Well, I mean, help me understand. Help me understand why you think that it was actually okay to even. I'm sure there's some regrets here, right? Why it was okay to even record the whole damn thing that was happening as it was happening,
Yeah,
knowing
and go
darn
Facebook Live.
well. Knowing
And go on
darn
Facebook Live.
well,
Yeah.
people are seeing your face. They're seeing what you're doing. You're
Mhm.
walking out with artifacts.
Mhm.
Again, we call it the caucasity of things.
Podcast.
Of
I
it
love
all.
that word.
You're recording it as it's going down. Imagine someone recording they have, and actually they've caught them on tape as they're showing their guns or they're showing their money, and they catch them on Facebook Live. So yeah, I have seen that. People doing that of color, but they catch them and lock them
It's
up
like I
right
don't
away.
understand how nobody understands nowadays that everything's being recorded, and not even on some Big Brother we're watching society. There's just literally cameras every freaking where.
Everywhere.
So you I mean, I don't understand people like doing stuff online and then like, what did you think was going to happen? You know,
Or
I
typing
think
it.
there's just a big disconnect from our whole society has a big disconnect with processing just reality in itself. You know, it's like everybody's just so focused on their dumb shit. Nobody has a bigger perspective on anything. You know, and
Right.
How can you
that
think?
just sums up his supporters in a
How did we
nutshell.
get there? Right? Because Trump is not the cause of all of that.
No, he's
Right.
just yeah.
He just
Right.
maximized on
He's the
that.
band-aid part.
How did we get to that point where we have 73 million people in support of a man like Trump?
I mean, dude, we could get into it. You know, there's just a whole history. I mean, it's like I told somebody. I'll just say it like this. It's like I told somebody. Like slavery. You know, you brought up somebody brought up slavery early, but with slavery, people knew it was wrong, right? People knew. I don't care if you were a Southerner, Confederate, whatever. You know, hated black people, loved black people. You knew it was wrong at the time. I don't care. You know, if you're making money, those people in their hearts knew it was wrong. So in some way, in order to justify it for yourself, okay, generation after generation, you have to lie to yourself and tell yourself this is okay. We do this because they came from Africa. Africa's good. We do this because they're not Christians. Christians are better. We do this because they're black and we're white. So generation after generation, you have this disconnect. So obviously, after even after slavery, people were still having issues with it, that they couldn't believe that these people are human. So I mean, hundreds of years later, voila, perfect recipe. You know,
Right.
people are not able to grasp the reality that certain people are humans. Basically, what it comes down to.
Yeah.
But you make a good point though, Paulo, because it's when you take and you desensitize, and that's why every time what we see on TV, the
Right.
desensitization of people of color, period, getting beat, maimed, shot, it's just
Yeah.
it continues.
Even
to
watching
happen.
those videos over and over again. Yeah.
Exactly. But you have to figure this too. Remember, lynching did not necessarily take a place until after slavery. So
Mhm.
the even the images that you see, it's been from slavery times on to even to now, even we see the desecration of people like on actual TV, it's been perpetuated even as young kids. If you look at these pictures, and I'm sure you've seen them, of someone hanging, being castrated, having his, stuff down, and multiple people
And there's
on
a
the
little
trees,
kid underneath them smiling,
looking,
like,
smiling,
yeah,
like
kid holding their parent's hand. Like,
so you
that
got to
was a
figure, yes,
this was a culture in this country,
and you got to
a
figure
deep culture.
those kids now are probably only in their only in their what, 70s,
Yeah, I mean,
80s.
my dad was from Mississippi, and he told me a bunch of stories that, you know, just people, you can, like I said, there's a big disconnect, and that's where the disconnect is. It's really a moral,
Mhm.
empathetic disconnect. Like I was talking about earlier, how, people can't even have remorse or empathy. It's
Mhm.
because you have this culture that comes from that way
Mhm.
back and way back. I mean, when people say what's wrong with America, I'm like, open a history book, because
Or they
it
think,
might tell you.
yeah, or they think you have to tame every person of color because what they go through, even for instance, Jess, even those again
Yeah,
from the Philippines, everyone that is
yeah,
not cultured per se,
Mhm.
heathenistic, looked at as other. And I think we've done such a great job in the United States is doing that. Even our colonialization from other countries taking land over this land, when it was actually the inhabitants of another completely different race. But
Mhm.
we've done such a great job at it. We've done such a great job at, even when I look at even Black culture, like, do I regrets? It should have been a regret for people thinking that, I was, Black History Month, right? Looking at the fact that people used to do things like a brown paper bag test. The thought of thinking that a paper bag will determine basically your good or badness of being Black. What the hell? Or a pencil in your hair determining whether or not you were Black or white. If you could hold it inside your hair, if it fell out, you're in the white side. If it stayed in, you're on the Black side. Stuff like
yes,
that. They've done. I'd say when people talk about slavery, talk about things, I said they've done such a great job, and not only it's just a phenomenal job of being able to have a complete race of people, or those that even look like it, look at themselves as inferior. And it's not only in the Black culture, I know that it's across the
oh yeah.
board in every culture, that darker skin is looked at as less than or inferior. And they've
Yeah.
done such a great job that it continues on. It's a perpetual thing. We do it in our own little small circles, in our own our own nationalities, our own
Yeah.
ethnicities. We do it.
Self-hatred
Mhm.
is a big, psychological warfare. It's a big, tool that's
Mm-hmm.
been utilized, obviously throughout history. A lot of it through violence. It's been, stamped by violence. Like, an old mentor I asked back in the day, I'm like, how did all this come to be? And he was just like, brute force. You ever heard of brute force? So,
Mm-hmm.
you know, that's where a lot of that comes from, and hey, it's another thing we can get into on the next show.
Speaking of
Yeah,
the
and
next show,
yeah.
Yay, yay.
let's wrap this up. So, all the viewers today, we really do want to thank you for joining us on our first show ever. As you can
Hey,
see,
Woo-hoo!
hey,
all
hey.
opinions are welcome. We do have, and I'm not going to speak about or speak on behalf of T or P about this, but um, we definitely have strong opinions about things that is either going to provoke you to participate or not. So one of the things that I do want to share with you guys as well is we do have plans on bringing in some special guests to talk about the things that we as a group feel can bring on some fun and some change of pace. I guarantee that even though we spent a good amount of time talking about politics in today's episode, we're not just about that. We want to touch on everything,
Ooh.
especially again, our
You have
target is
topics.
Yeah, any topic really that
Let us know.
pertains
Let us know.
to people of our age, I guess our age group. So those are the topics.
What's that? 20s?
20s, 30s, you know. So yeah. So T, what do you think? What do you think? How did things go, and where do we go from here?
Yeah, no, I think it's great, everyone. Thank you very much for coming through. I believe Laser, she's going to give some deets inside the comment sections on how you can reach out and give some comments. We'd love to take
Let
your
us
comments and
know.
maybe use it for the next show. That's what it's all about. So I know this
Yeah.
is the premiere episode, but believe me, when we come back, we're going to take in the feedback. We're going to take in some of the comments that you've said. And thank you again for tuning in. Kim, thank you. I know you were out there. Sierra, thank you for your comment. We really do
Yo,
appreciate it.
yo, yo.
Maybe next time you'll be on the camera.
Hey, hey.
But we really do thank you, and we really do hope that in the next episode you'll see a little bit more of what we're trying to bring. Understand, all of us are from the Bay Area. Matter of fact, I'm
Bay.
Independence, class of '96. Chess, what are you?
Class of 95.
Indo
Hey,
94.
that's
Oh,
right. And Lay, where are you at?
99.
Hey.
We got a baby. We got a baby over here.
Two
But we got
out.
Bay Area. We got Bay Area in the house. If you've ever heard,
South
if you
Bay.
heard Hella, because we know Pablo has said Hella, yeah, then you
Yeah.
already know what it's all about. But we
Hella.
really do appreciate you. We thank you. Thank you for your support. And until next time.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Have a good night.
Peace. Love you. Bye.